That's right. Now, let's go.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the uh, first episode of the new TV Book Club series. Um, I am your host, David, and I'm joined here by Josh and Jamie.
Hello.
I am available.
You are available. And
Also, this has been written in the Dead Sea Scrolls.
what?
Continue.
We're talking about Evangelion, which I don't know. It's been almost 2 years since we've recorded this podcast to talk about Twin Peaks, and we've reconvened to talk about something equally speculated about, if not.
Let me just start by saying I've never felt more mixed on a program in my life ever than I have with Evangelion.
Yay! Me too.
Yeah, but we'll get into that as we go on, I guess. But I'm just saying that, like, just letting that set the tone. I've never felt the way I do about Evangelion in a long time.
This is also interesting because Josh has seen the show multiple times.
Yep.
And is a big old fan.
Loser.
Wow.
And Jamie and I never have. Well, I've seen like the first four
you've
episodes.
seen like the first 4 episodes,
and I know
so.
about the ending because I have been alive for the past 20 years and on the internet. So I am aware of some things that happen. I don't really understand them, or I'm here to fill in those gaps.
And I'm helping him.
Yes.
At the cost of my own sanity, I'm helping him.
The cost of everyone's sanity, according to Evangelion.
Yes.
So yes, so we're
What are
here.
you talking about? Evangelion is a great show.
It is a great.
Well, that's for us to decide.
That's not true.
What are you talking about? There's only 16 episodes of it.
There's 26, actually, I believe.
What 10 are you cutting out? What are we getting into?
Well, I'll explain when we get there. All right, start the show.
Oh, okay, yeah. So before we get into what happened these first 2 episodes, because that's what we're covering this week, are the first 2 episodes of Evangelion. I did look at. I started putting together a roadmap for us, and so we have 26 episodes. Though apparently we also have to rewatch the director's cut, or at least only watch the director's cut of the last 3 episodes. Is that correct, Josh?
Why?
I don't know. It's hard to read.
Is that just some elitist? Is it just some elitist bullshit? Like, you can only watch the director's cut of the last 3 episodes. It's not the real experience without them.
It's Blade Runner all over again.
Well, they add stuff. Yeah, they add stuff.
But I prefer the international cut of Blade Runner as opposed to the final cut. Thank you.
I watched the blue one. That's the one I've seen.
And the blue one.
The one that where like the color, like the whole movie's blue.
Yeah, that's the final cut.
Oh, okay. That's the only one I've seen.
My favorite is the international cut, which has the narration and a bunch of gory scenes that were added in.
My favorite is the sequel.
Well, that's everybody's favorite at this point.
That's not true.
Critics. That's not true at all.
Nah.
Well, they're
You're wrong. Blade Runner 2049 is the cinematic event of the decade, I'll have you know. It's Blade Runner 49 and it's Bone Tomahawk, as I've told David. They are the 2 best films of the decade, I mean.
I don't know about that, man. Anyway.
Well, you will. You'll understand. Anyway, let's get into it.
We need to see the director's cuts of the last 3 episodes. Then we need to watch Death and Rebirth, which is like a recap movie. No, don't watch
greatest hits compilation.
Look, I'm not a huge fan of you don't need to watch like Death 2. Just go straight in the end of it and like it's literally it gives you a little bit more context, but the scenes are it's basically the same.
But in like an hour.
So what is it, like a greatest hits compilation?
It's the anime filler episode of we're still working on stuff. Why don't we have a character remember something?
It's the flashback episode.
Oh, it's like it's like the shitty version of Part 8 from The Return.
No, because that's completely different. It's a clip show.
Yeah, I was thinking like another like a flashback thing.
No, it's a clip show.
Yeah, you're right. It's not even a clip show. What am I saying? I'm talking out my ass.
Then end of Evangelion, and then the we'll see if we get there before Rebuild 4 comes out. But we have 3 current rebuilds with the 4th one coming out in 2020. So
why?
Because apparently they're good.
Because it needs to end.
Do the Shin Ultraman movie and then focus on.
He's gonna finish
recap
Evangelion and then he's doing.
You don't know how mad people were about him doing Godzilla.
But it's one of the greatest Japanese films ever made, Shin Godzilla. I'll have you know.
That man needs to finish his movies.
That man does need to finish his movies. So,
I mean, if Shin Godzilla is anything to go by, then End of Evangelion should be one of the greatest films ever made. So, I'm having an open mind.
Good. So let's talk about Evangelion then. And I want to start off by saying I love the theme song.
Oh yeah, the theme song's great, but it doesn't match the show at all.
It feels very, the lyrics actually kind of they're pretty good towards the show. It's just tonally, it's like way too upbeat for this show.
Yeah, much like the like we said, much like the Paranoia Agent theme.
But that fits thematically because it's supposed to freak you out.
Yeah.
But I feel as though the theme is what brings you into like these first couple of episodes, because it's just like, what is this show actually about? Because the intro scene is just crazy of just flashing images, quick cuts.
Yeah, it lures you in. It's like it lures you in. It makes you think that okay, this is going to be like a fun, action-packed mecha show about robots beating each other up and shit.
And then there's going to be characters we don't know who they are yet, and then it's just like, oh wait, there's more than one mech. Now I'm excited to see where this other mech comes in.
And then bam, it hits you with vagina eyeballs.
Well, no, that's literally at the end of what we're talking about today.
Exactly. I'm just setting people up, I'm doing what the show does. I'm reeling you in.
But we should mention. Well, I do want to talk a little bit about the theme song because I looked into it a little bit. It was written in 2 hours.
Oh, I can beat that. I know songs have been written in 20 minutes.
Yeah, but this is like one of the most like famous anime openings, and people love it, and it's been re-recorded to hell. And the artist doesn't give a shit about Evangelion. Never watched the show. She watched like the first couple episodes on double speed to like get a sense, and just like and wrote the song in 2 hours, and this is what we got. And it's I mean that when you hear that, it's really shocking because it's a great song.
Ennio Morricone was like that about some of the scores he did. Because to some people, I guess it's just a paycheck.
Especially for anime stuff like that, it's one of those things where that companies in Japan are super weird because it's a monopoly on top of a monopoly. So it's just like, all right, we need to sell toys, but we need to give the rights to everyone. We also have a record deal around, so somebody needs to get a song. Who needs a song?
Yes. So
this philosophical mecha show. They need a song. Okay, we'll we'll shit that out.
Just throw it on. Just put it in.
Put it out.
Yeah, well,
do it live.
Everyone's getting paid, right? Everyone's getting paid. Great, awesome.
Anno wanted classical.
Okay, music, job done.
Which would have been,
now.
Much.
Where's Joe Hisaishi when we need him?
Thematically appropriate. However, the studio was like, no. You're making an anime show in 1996. It needs to have a bitchin' J-pop theme.
This isn't Freckles.
So they, got...
See, if I could just say, like, back in the day, it was all J-pop, but now it's, like, weird, like, Japanese metal for anime intros.
It depends on the anime.
It depends on the anime. If you're going to do some shonen, I am the number one who's going to save the world anime, you need some high-class, like, pop... Like, not J-pop, just... punk, a little pop punk in there, maybe something like that.
Or if it's like a slice of life, just throw some city pop on.
All the Dragon Ball Super openings and closing songs were fucking great.
Awful.
But then you've got Death Note, which is just like complete insanity, stupid metal.
Well, then you got Space Dandy.
Yeah, which is
So
I forget
good.
the theme to Space Dandy. Oh my god, I know the intro is really nice, but I've forgotten how the theme
I
goes.
have forgotten that, but or it could be like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, in which they never changed the theme and they just let it play the entire time. Or they could do like Gundam Wing did to me last year, in which I know the entire first theme, and then for the last 3 episodes, they changed the opening.
It's 3 episodes.
The last 3 episodes, the intro changes, and I'm sitting there being like, "Fuck this! How do you?"
Well, at least it's not like most American dramas where it's like we're going to use like a 3 minute intro for like the first 5 seasons, and then we bother to condense it.
Or like Veronica Mars, where they changed the theme song again for the new season, and it's really bad now. They ruined that Dandy Warhol song, and it upsets me.
But that's not Evangelion.
No, that's not
and
even.
Music rights have changed since then.
So
Yes.
So yes, the theme song is called "The Cruel Angel's Thesis," and it was written by Oikawa.
I guess that's a good title for a theme to Evangelion.
It is. And it's fucking awesome. And yes, it opens our first episode, which, as discussed, opens with a lot of different cuts. We see the angels swimming in a partially submerged city, so we know right off the bat, like, some bad shit's happened to this world.
It got Akira'd.
Well, it did kind of. No, but kind of.
I just say any like Japanese post-apocalyptic show
Akira'd.
got Akira'd. Yeah.
It had a teenager blow up.
Yeah, it done blowed up.
And go ahead.
Oh no, that's fine. Go ahead. Finish setting it up.
Misato is looking for Shinji, who is our main character, who she is supposed to pick up and bring back to the government research agency his father works at, called Nerve. I have it written later on, but I'll say it right now.
Niv.
Yeah, why did they change the pronunciation of Nerve?
I think they went more with the German pronunciation, and I think that it's one of those things where it's never consistent, so I don't really know.
I don't like them saying Nerve.
Maybe that's the point. It's not supposed to be consistent, so they can keep it all secret.
It's an acronym. Just you can pronounce it any way you want. You don't have to literally pronounce it the way it's written without the E.
Nerve.
It's Nerve. It's clearly just Nerve.
Niv.
Nerve.
Great logo. Really, really iconic logo.
And while Shinji is waiting, he sees a flash of Rei, who we don't know who she is at this point, but standing in the street. So it's not explained, apparently. I've been told it's never explained.
Oh, what? The Phantom Ray?
The Phantom Ray.
Nope, never explained.
I'm still of the opinion it's because of the Avas.
Shinji, it's the psychic link, man.
We'll check back in. We'll check back in a bit.
Okay, but yeah. So the angel shows up and starts attacking.
Play that music.
Just it's pretty great.
Get some horns, get some drums, just call it. And the track is just literally the simplest track. Angel attacks.
It's a great song. And
I mean, all the music's pretty consistently great in Evangelion.
The angels are super weird looking too, and I really like it.
Yeah, they're like robotic, fleshy, sort of.
Well, they're not robots.
Well, no, they're not robots, but they have that mecha look. They look somewhat underdeveloped as well.
Yeah, well, they're like
in a similar way that Godzilla looks underdeveloped in Shin Godzilla.
They're like
I wonder if that's like a reoccurring theme with Anno.
They're like weird, like black fleshy shapes with like.
Yeah.
Do they all have masks like that, Josh?
Yes.
Okay.
It goes on, but it's just the thing about these. Like usually when you see a mech, they're pretty like a Gundam. It's straightforward. You can see from a mile away. this is a Gundam. It has all of these vertices and everything, and it looks like a cool ass mech. Every single Evangelion looks gross.
Yeah, they're really creepy looking.
It looks like a melted, like somebody melted a Power Ranger character and just let it out, and it's like, all right, this is what it is now.
You see, they look gross, or you could go with the Robin Williams perception that they look cool.
But I think I know where you're coming from. No, but I think that's mostly on purpose because it just continues on this thing of just it's the first early on hints that something is kind of weird with them.
Yeah,
it's just like why
there's an underlying I wouldn't say surrealism, but there's that sort of like underlying unsettlingness to them, if that's even a word.
Yeah, it's just
it's the first inkling that this show isn't. It's the first inkling that it isn't your typical mecha action series.
It's also just the color scheme. I love it now, but like in hindsight, like it's just one of those things. Those colors aren't that great. There's no chrome highlights. There's no like one singular color with his name. It is Ava Unit 1, and it's unique by itself, but it's just like it's not like a Gundam where there's like multiple versions. It's just an ugly, creepy mech.
You get the it's not the first Ava they developed because there's Unit 0 as well. But you get the impression it's very early stages, if you know what I mean.
Well, we can talk a little bit about that too, because I do love the Ava designs, but they're very. I mean, they're super anime, but like that's one of the things I like. Especially,
it's an anime.
Well, I know, but about like the earlier Gundams and stuff is like they do, and actually some of the more recent ones is they look super mechanical. They look like
I've never watched Gundam, so I can't comment on that.
Well, you can look at the designs.
You two go ahead.
What Gundams look like. Like that's not just because you've never seen the show doesn't mean you don't know what they look like. But they look.
No, I'm aware. I'm aware. It's just I can't. If you were to compare it to another Gundam
Google it while I'm
thing, I wouldn't be able to comment.
They're very like tank-like. They're very robotic, and
yeah.
The Evas are very humanoid-like. They look more like creatures than they look like robots, and I think the coloring comes into that too. Because a lot of times with mechs, they're not purple. Because why would you paint it purple? Like what metal is that color or that weird red?
Or why would you put green? I don't know. It's just
like I don't.
The way that the colors are just off.
Yes, I think it works for the show. It just doesn't. I mean, there's a lot about the whole world that doesn't seem to make logistical sense, which is fine.
So we get Rei. Shinji is picked up by Misato. She gives him a lore dump, which is
there's a bunch of lore dumps in these two episodes, I noticed.
Yeah.
There's specifically... We'll get to it, but go ahead, sorry.
I was waiting for this.
Oh, the bomb?
No, this man doesn't understand 90s anime fan service.
What do you mean? Oh, the car?
Where the camera while she's talking to Shinji is at crotch level.
Oh. Yeah, there's a lot of that in these two episodes. Anime bullshit, as I like to call it. But yeah, no, I understand. So Evangelion was supposed to come across as a normal anime with hints of weirdness that slowly progressed into something else. Like, that's what it is.
And it gets to the point where that kind of overshadows the intention in the first episode.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead, Josh. Tell us why we're wrong.
No, you're not wrong. It's there. It's very much blatantly there. It's just here's the thing when I watch 90s anime is that this is just going to be a thing, and it's just you sit there, you look at it, and you're like, this is a product of its time. It's kind of gross.
Okay, the reason for me, because I had Evangelion sold to me as one particular thing, it's this like sort of philosophical, thought-provoking action sci-fi drama. I wasn't expecting it to be that 90s, just from what it was sold to me as. But I think now, in retrospect, I do understand that, it's a product of its time, and this is a thing to expect.
And you talked about the previews, which I didn't. I watched it on Netflix, so I didn't get any of those previews because it just...
Yeah, previews where she straight up says, I'm going to give you fan service next time.
Yeah, and so that becomes one of those things that just... It's a placation, but as the series goes on, your feelings that you have are right. But early on, you don't know where it's going to go, which is...
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah. But this is just par for the course. It's... Especially the women in Evangelion, as you can see from the first couple of episodes, certain women are cool, and then like they're...
there's a total bimbos.
Yeah, but then it's just one of those things where they're just depicted in a way that is just not really conducive to great character strength. It just makes them seem lesser than everyone else. Meanwhile, they're actually pretty strong characters. Like Misato's a super strong character who's just like...
Really they're in positions of power, I guess.
Yeah. They're in positions of power, but it's sort of still...
It's undermined by their personalities, you could say.
Yeah.
So we have seen 3 female characters so far. One of them is just an exposition machine.
The other one's a victim.
The other one, I suppose. Technically, Rei is just she's just shown as wounded so far.
Yeah.
And then the other one is Misato.
I'm aware she becomes quite a pivotal character, but right now she just seems like she's been beaten by the system. She's a victim of terrible abuse by the system.
I don't. My hatred for Misato is lessening, but I still don't.
Go on.
But I still don't like her in these first 2 episodes. She has moments.
No, I don't.
Really like.
She just feels like a typical anime girl.
It's
right
specifically
now.
When she's with Shinji too. Like outside.
Yeah, she just feels like she's straight up coming onto him in some parts. I know she's kind of supposed to be like a mother figure, but especially like episode 2 when they're in the park and she's like got her tits hanging out over his face. You're like, okay.
Yeah.
I think that mostly goes along with the... There's one thing I really love about Evangelion, which is just the photography, in a way that there is intent behind every shot, even though it's sort of like not like some animes reuse the same footage over and over again. But there is a lot of shots in Evangelion that are long and I think serve a deeper purpose. And it's just like these shots of Misato are kind of... It's fan service, but it's also a...
it's thought-provoking fan service.
Yeah, but it's also a part of her character.
Okay. She's a bimbo.
She's not.
But she's not.
No, she's not. I'm just giving you shit,
like,
Josh.
She's kind of putting on an act.
Kind of, but again, you don't really get that initially.
So there's actually a change in the Netflix translation where I think it's right. It's in the second episode. I think it's right after the whole naked scene when Shinji meets Pen, and first
slice of life comic relief.
The slice of life comic relief is when he goes back into the bathroom. She's just like mugging to the camera, and she's like, "Maybe I'm laying it on too thick. He can probably see right through me."
Yeah.
But the way that we've been introduced to Shinji through these last couple of episodes, Shinji's just not used to people. And
no, he state that he's been on his own for a while?
Yeah.
Yes.
He prefers
at one point,
being on his own.
He prefers being on his own, yeah.
And I think Misato is just the type of character that is just like, she identifies that you can't really be like that. Like, in a way, there are certain times that you can, and as an adult, kind of sort of, that she gets that you have to sometimes interact with people, and you sometimes have to bring it out of people in order for things to go on. And I think that in these instances, she she is, while Shinji's boss, she's still like a character that cares about him, even though
she has a motherly presence to her. But I also get the impression she wants to be like a partner, not in like the romantic sense, but she wants to be like his companion professionally, in the sense of like helping him on his quest.
It's that weird I wounded puppy, like I want to help him even though I don't necessarily understand how to do that. She's trying to be a good person even if she doesn't understand how.
I mean, she's trying. I think what she's trying to she's trying to treat him like she would the adult characters she's interacted with. But she doesn't really understand that he's only how old is Shinji supposed to be?
13.
Yeah, she doesn't understand that he's like a 13-year-old kid and probably has like a different attitude towards this whole situation.
I thought he was older than that. Jesus. Well, not that much older, but
he's a young high schooler.
High school's 14. Anyway. So yeah. Oh, so when we first see Misato, she's come to pick Shinji up in her car, and it's in the middle of the Angel attack, and the UN forces launch an N2 bomb, which Josh has told me is basically a nuclear bomb without the fallout.
Which, just hide in a convertible. You'll be fine.
They're out of the range. It's pretty far away.
They're out of the range. They got blown halfway across the bloody desert.
Wave. They were out of the range of the actual explosion.
No fallout.
No fallout.
I'm sure the aftershock would have bloody decimated you.
No fallout. It's fine.
Whatever. Sorry, no. Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull tainted my perception of people surviving nuclear blasts.
Will you shut up? That scene is fun. I'm tired of people shitting on that scene. You.
I don't know. I don't remember that movie at all.
It's the only part I remember.
I only said that because I knew it would annoy him.
So we're introduced to Misato basically with Shinji, her picking him up and her being super upset that her car's all fucked up and she damaged her dress because she wore her nice dress.
She's like, 36 more loan payments, that's all I had.
Yeah. Which is kind of endearing. Like, it makes her feel like a real person. She
feels like an actual millennial. Like, oh, I have student loan payments. I'm just trying to live here. This is what's supposed to happen. And then she just laughs it off because she just, I think, is dead on the, like, I felt like in these early episodes that Misato is kind of just she would make like dead on the inside jokes all the time.
I feel like that's also partially why the symbiotic relationship between her and Shinji works, because she comes across as a real person, so she could be like a motherly figure to him.
Well, I think their dichotomies work super well too, because specifically because Misato is, she's involved in Nerve. She knows what the Avas are. She's been working on this. She's seen the angels. She knows about, because we didn't mention yet. So the angel has attacked, and they all have names. And what's this one's name, Josh?
At the top of my head, I do not know. Hold on a second.
Okay, no problem. And so she's like desensitized to that. It's why when, an N2 bomb goes off in the city and fucks up her car, she's worried about her car and her dress. She's seen all this before. She's used to it. Where on the other hand, we have Shinji, who has no idea what the fuck is going on.
You just throw it into this out of nowhere.
Yeah.
The angel's name is Sachiel, the third angel.
But yet he's the first Eva unit. Okay.
No, Sachiel is the angel.
Oh, we're talking about the angel.
Yes, the angel with the cool shoulder pads and the giant gem in the face.
Do they all have giant gems or no?
They do, but like in the early ones, they're hidden in such a way that you don't see them anymore.
Okay.
Because then there's a Dick Monster, which has it like under the tip part, and then Ramiel.
Aren't they all Dick Monsters though?
No, my boy Ramiel has.
No. No, because he's a vagina monster.
No.
No. Do not talk about my son like this. Don't.
Your son.
I will come down on you with the fury of an end.
You're only doing that because you know I'm right. You're only saying that because you know I'm right.
No, you're attacking my child.
Also, you're not right. You
my
don't know what's
diamond
going
child.
on yet, Jamie.
I know. I'm just excited
to talk
about.
It's very complicated.
So when does Shinji get the nerve?
So Misato picks him up and takes him to Nerve and spouts exposition at him, and then they get there and they meet up with the blonde scientist lady whose name I think I wrote down. Ritsuko, yeah, but I forgot. And then they give Shinji a pamphlet to read while they spout exposition at each other on a giant escalator.
I think my favorite part of that incident is just we, as an audience, we are getting the lore dump, but for Shinji, he's not paying attention to any of this.
No, he's reading this pamphlet that they're like talking about stuff, and they're like, "You're not going to know about any of this in this pamphlet we gave you to read because it's all top secret."
Yeah, but
it's also reading like the PR pamphlet.
It's also the same thing of just like when your mom took you to the grocery store and talks about her day. You listen occasionally, but you don't really care that much because it's the same thing that happens every single day. A customer comes in or anything else, it's just like it's a part of her day, but like Shinji does not give a fuck.
Well, he doesn't. Well, he's confused too. He's scared. He doesn't know why he's here.
But he's also being told what to do.
Yes.
And as we learn throughout these episodes,
he's a lone wolf who doesn't play by the rules.
No, he's a young man who's told what the fuck to do.
Regardless of how he feels. So yeah,
feels bad, man.
They bring Shinji to Nerve and take him to Ava Unit 1 and tell him to get in the damn robot. And he does not want to. And we get some super condescending talk from his father.
Well, you know, he's big government man. Of course, he's condescending.
No,
he's not a different kind of. Yeah,
I know.
He's not government military leader. He is mad scientist.
Yes, yeah.
He is Dr. Frankenstein, not Frankenstein's monster.
He is Red Skull.
Is he Frankenstein's monster Frankenstein?
No. But Gendo is at the beginning such a fucking awful character from these first couple instances of just he doesn't acknowledge Shinji by name.
He just
feels like a cliche.
He just glares at him.
Yes, and then he just says, "Get in the robot." And as soon as he says, "I don't really know what I'm doing," and he's like, "All right, fuck you, you're not doing it anymore." And it's just like that. As an audience, that's how we get how Gendo works. Gendo is just like, "All right, you didn't do what I said, so I'm just going to use my method. I think you're done. Please pack up your apron and leave." And then he pushes Ray in. I feel now, like I feel like the first instance of seeing Ray in this injured state, it's a good tactic on his part, but it's also weird considering what we figure out a little bit later on about Ray and some of the things that she has done. And it's just like, we know that Ray would have done it either way with her injuries and everything going on.
Yeah, I know.
I guess it's just to establish the character for the audience. You know, she's done this. This isn't her first rodeo.
Well, what Josh is saying is that we're going to find out some details about Ray, that she would have piloted the Ava.
Yeah, but all I'm saying is I just think that's like an indication for the audience that she's done this before. She's experienced and it has taken a toll on her.
The scene with Ray is to show you that piloting these Avas is not an easy.
It's not pleasant. It's not easy.
Exactly. But really, what I think the purpose of that scene is twofold. It's that Gendo basically sees himself with two options: either Shinji or Rei is going to pilot the mech. So he has Rei wheeled out both as the backup plan and I think he's trying to motivate Shinji in a really fucked up way too.
It's all according to the Dead Sea Scrolls, David.
Like, oh, she can't do it. Look at her. So that means you have to take the mantle.
What? You keep talking about the Dead Sea Scrolls, and I don't get it yet. I know they're important, but shut up.
But you're right about the motivation. Like, I think that's the core thing of just seeing an injured person just be in that state. It kind of pushes him to be like, okay, I've never done this before, but everyone has told me I have to do this, so I'm going to get into it.
It's like, she's kind of my age. Maybe I am ready.
It's not even that. It's just wanting to protect, not wanting to see this poor girl.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, and then we get the thing that backs up what I was saying earlier about the Ray Flash we got, which is that the Ava, there's the angel attacks, and by the way, we did mention every time the angel attacks, it's doing it with cross power, which is pretty great. All of its attacks are crosses.
This anime isn't religious at all.
There's
no politics, there's no religion, there's no...
Oh, it's the Ubisoft game. Yep, it's one of those.
It's Star Trek, Shinji... Josh. It's non-political like Star Trek.
Anyway, so
there's a
Shinji gets in the robot.
Well, hold on. Well, because the angel attacks the city and it shakes the base underground, and some rubble is about to crush Shinji, and the Ava, which is completely off, moves its arm to protect him. So there's clearly it's more indications that there's something more going on that we don't know yet.
Do we get decisive battle in this episode, in the first episode?
Is that a song?
Yes, that's the drum heavy song when they're like doing tactical bureaucracy.
Maybe, I'm not sure.
Dun dun dun. But he gets in, he gets launched into the battlefield,
and that's how the first episode ends.
Wait, I thought he gets incinerated before like the first episode ends.
I don't.
No, he gets incinerated at the beginning of because it shows him like getting incinerated and just cuts to Shinji in the hospital.
I'm pretty sure the first episode ends with them saying launch, and then it cuts to black.
Okay.
Because episode 2 starts with him being launched and struggling to walk, and then getting immediately beat to shit by the angel.
Like a direct hit.
Well, it grabs his arm, and like they do, and then because we see more of this. The way the second episode works is we see the Ava get really fucked up, and then it cuts to afterwards. But part of when we see that damage, because we'll see it again later on, is the angel grabs the Ava's arm and squeezes it so hard to break like the quote unquote bone or whatever. But then the other half of the arm, like past the break, gets like weird and like a tube filled with goo and like contorts and stuff. It's very creepy looking. And like Shinji freaks out because he can feel the pain, even though it's not actually happening to him.
That really fucked me up. That
I
hate phantom pains. That really creeps me out because it reminds me of stories of anesthetic awareness, where like dude goes under the knife and he can feel everything that's happening to him.
Yeah,
like he doesn't know if the pain was real or not. And it kind of fucks with his mind.
There was a recent, well, it was like 10 years ago, but there was a movie starring Anakin Skywalker about that.
Yeah,
It was like Awake or something.
Are they like threatening to kill him or something?
Something like that.
Are they like plotting to kill him?
It was bad.
Whilst he's like under the knife.
And then the angel grabs the Ava by the head and rams crosses into its eye. And then that's when we cut.
Blood spews everywhere.
Yeah, we're told Shinji is non-responsive.
For some reason.
And then it cuts to him laying in the hospital bed, staring up at the ceiling. There's a lot of him. The show has a lot of Shinji staring up at the ceiling. And I have a feeling it's only going to get more so. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I said I don't know how many more ceilings.
Oh, I know there's a lot, and I know about the infamous one at the end. And then, so we find out that Gendo Ikari is responsible for the Human Instrumentality Project, that it's a higher priority than the Evas. Shinji and Gendo run into each other in like the elevator and just stare at each other and don't say anything.
That's a real good, healthy relationship.
And it's in the middle of just dialogue of Misato talking to other people about Shinji, with him standing next to her being like, yeah, so they're not going to live together. And then you like see that scene of them just staring at each other. Oh, Shinji prefers to be alone. And that's when she decides that no, she's going to live with him. Or he's going to live with her.
He's going to live with her.
Because he can't live by himself, and it'll be good for both of them. And I specifically wrote down, because then they walk to Misato's apartment. Where are all the people in this world? We like see the two people that are like running the convenience store that are leaving because it's too dangerous. But like we see all the cityscape, but I feel like we only ever see people in Nerve and then Misato and Shinji in her apartment. Like, where
it feels like with all the people sort of like, it's still running the convenience store, but it's dangerous outside. It feels like in a video game where like all the characters are like going about the day lives in the day, but then at night everything changes and they're like ditching their houses and they're like locking themselves in the houses. Because like all the demons come out. That's what it feels like. No,
I don't know.
But here's the entire thing. It also goes with all of these lore dumps. It feels as though people have, like, considering that this is a city that has been built 3 times over, they say that this is Tokyo 2 or 3.
It's 3.
Tokyo 3 is the one that she shows him.
Yeah. So you could kind of get like an assumption that what happened to Tokyo's 1 through 2. And you could probably understand.
They got a key rid.
Yeah.
So where are all the people then?
Everyone's left. So from what I've gathered, it feels, like those towns that are built around a military base?
Yeah, like everywhere in South Korea.
Yeah. It's sort of just like that, in which I feel like Nerve and the surrounding elements are the military town, or like it's the town built around Nerve. So it's just everyone who works around there works for Nerve in some type of an instance.
Okay.
And it's sort of just like, there are still students there, but all of the students at the school pretty much are probably, by my guess, because it's sort of just like, who the fuck would live there?
That's a good point. It's just like, do the angels really only attack Tokyo 3? Like,
they always are going towards Tokyo 3.
Okay. Oh, I think I know why, but I can't talk about that. Okay. Well, the show does a much better job of it, but so we talked about, Jamie's never seen Evangelion because he barely likes anime. It's like pulling teeth to get. It's like, Jamie, you will like this anime. No, it's anime. I won't watch it. And then like
this feels like this. I've never as a program felt more like work.
Yeah. So this is the one we're forcing him to watch. We're forcing both of us to watch, because I've tried to.
You forced me to watch. I liked Space Dandy and I liked Paranoia Agent.
Yeah, but I knew you
cannot get into anything else.
This one has problems. Upsetting parts. Because I've tried to watch it multiple times because I've been told it's basically the anime that was made for me, besides Paranoia Agent. And I've struggled to get past these first 4 episodes because of what we're about to talk about, and the slice of life.
Like I said, I have no idea how I feel about it.
Anime stuff. and I really like the rest of it. And I think part of that is, especially in these first few episodes, is they don't do a bad job of setting up the world and explaining everything, but it's a mystery you're supposed to be unraveling, so you don't get a lot of that. And it's the same reason as I tried to watch the rebuilds and I started watching this, I'm like, oh, they took out all of that, and I have no idea what's happening. So I'm really excited to sit down and go through this properly and figure out what the fuck is going on in Evangelion.
I'm not.
Shut up. Let's
like I said, never has watching something felt more like work.
Let's talk about the bad part.
But I'm going to do it because I love you guys.
And then so we can talk about the really, really good part.
What's the bad part? What's the bad part here?
The anime bullshit.
Anime bullshit.
Oh, okay.
AKA a 20-something-year-old woman coming onto a 13-year-old.
Not coming on to him.
She's straight up coming on to him. What the fuck are you talking about?
Nope.
She's straight up just like boobs hanging over his face, like, oh, yeah.
She's putting on an act. She's not coming on to him. It's very...
That's how it felt. It's how it felt.
It's not that. It's just... Here's what I usually say about Misato and, like, the instance of Evangelion for, like, the most part, especially in these slice life things. Misato is trying to be cool mom.
She is.
I get that. I see that now. Yeah.
It's cool mom. I'm not a strict mom. I'm a cool mom. Here's some condoms. I know you're having sex.
Here's some booze.
She's just very bad.
Just help yourself to the fridge.
And she does off, but it's sort of just like...
To be honest, I do love the fact she's kind of an alcoholic.
Oh, she's also totally one of my notes. I literally have a note that just says, is Misato a serious alcoholic, or is that beer very weak?
No, it's like the equivalent of somebody who still drinks a bunch of O'Douls even though they're non-alcoholic and they still give you a little bit of the taste. A person with an always packed fridge
of beer.
Gotta question it.
Well, I mean, she is living in the horror that is this world, so it makes sense. It makes her feel more like a real person, the fact that she's getting hammered every night because of her job.
Yeah, because of the horrors that she's seen and the pressure that she's under to, save the world.
But they present it in such a comical way. Yeah. But again, like you said, it's like they're luring you in.
Well, and it's also
you're not at this point. You're still not supposed to think anything out of the ordinary is going on in terms of mecha anime.
There are some shots like this in Cowboy Bebop, like Faye is drawn and filmed sometimes in these like hypersexualized poses and stuff. And I mean, the fucking cowboy girl in the Bounty Roundup video is like super fan servicey. So like it is of the era. Like I mean, it's.
But I guess that's supposed to be more overtly comical.
Half anime is not better now, still. So
it's all fan. Listen. When I was talking to Evangelion with some of my friends who are giant fans, he was like, I keep trying to look up Evangelion on Amazon, and I keep getting sent a bunch of sexy statues and pillows. And that's the fan service. That's what this is, because it's sort of just like, this shit will sell some bikini calendar or something else of just giving people who enjoy that stuff a little bit more incentive to be like, oh, I want to see the goods of this animated character. And that's what it is. It's just placating the people who want that a little bit, because it's not the entire thing. It's just there are certain moments in which it happens.
It's glaringly obvious when it does.
Yep, and then they never discuss it. They just look at it.
It's out of place.
Yes,
I guess you could say.
It's as if some producer came in and is like, "Where's my toy?
Where the boobs? Where the boobs?"
I really do enjoy the slice of life stuff. David does not like slice of life. He just
I like slice. I love slice of life anime. That's my favorite type.
It's just it feels out of place.
I mean, that's why I like. That's why I like Your Name and 5 centimeters per second, because I like that slice of life romance stuff. Because I'm a big softie.
We just saw something super horrific and crazy. I don't want to meet a penguin. Like, I want to know what's going on. I don't want to meet a penguin.
Yeah, but that's like that happens like all the time in Cowboy Bebop.
But Cowboy Bebop does not have the same tone as Evangelion.
I know, but still, it's still the same sort of like, oh, here's something like really bad, like a big terrorist bombing, like, oh, meet this corgi.
No, not the same.
Thousands of people just died. Here's Ein.
You don't understand.
Look at Ed being quirky.
You don't understand, okay?
Again, this is coming from the perspective of someone who doesn't like anime, so like take what I say with a grain of salt.
You don't understand what's happening in Evangelion. Like, you don't know what's going on, and I know some hints of what's going on, and it's
But the thing about it is, that penguin is funny.
Yay, penguins.
The penguin is funny, and it is a good respite before we get back to the episode.
Before we get back to vagina eyeballs.
I would rather have more of the vagina eyeballs than I don't need a respite. I don't want a respite. I understand.
How dare you? That penguin.
It's
saved millions of lives, David.
That penguin is pointless.
You have no idea.
The penguin is not pointless. It has a purpose.
The penguin is life.
No, the penguin is
much like the spice.
It's kind of its own lore in itself, because there's no other animals in fucking Evangelion.
Yeah. You know,
is it like Is it like a Durando's Stream of Electric Sheep? Are they like fake penguins?
No, it's a penguin that got mutated because it's global warming.
Kind.
So it's a super penguin.
Yeah.
It's a land penguin.
You know.
So why can't the penguin pilot the Evangelion?
So this whole sequence, this whole comedy apartment sequence, reminds me. You know that scene in Hot Fuzz when they go to watch Romeo and Juliet. and the play cuts from the suicide scene to the whole cast arm in arm singing "Love Me, Love Me," and it's that tonal shift that I.
Did you have the same face, Nicholas Angel Pools?
Basically, I'm like, except I was enjoying the other part. I was like,
and except that part was. Except in Hot Fuzz, that part was poorly done.
Yeah. So like I was loving the other part, and then you cut to this, and I'm like, oh God, what?
I still like it, but we do get what happened to Shinji in this episode, correct?
Yeah. But before I do want to say, Jamie, as well, you should know, it's also purposeful. Because it's supposed to feel more like a regular 90s anime.
Yeah, I know. That's the whole point. But I'm just giving it shit because I don't like anime.
I know. We have to get through that part. But you do like anime.
No, I like anime movies. I'll never admit to like properly liking anime programs. I can't get into the culture.
You like Cowboy Bebop and Space Dandy.
Yeah. I like particular shows. I just can't get into the culture.
I agree with that because the culture is bad.
Yeah, so I can't actually call myself an anime fan. There are anime programs I like, but I don't like anime in general, if you know what I mean.
Yes. So let's talk about what actually happened to Shinji in that last 5
I confirm you know what I mean, so I don't sound like an idiot.
I do.
To anybody who listens.
Yes, I confirm it. So,
yeah.
After Shinji went non-responsive, the Eva goes berserk and stands up on its own, and its eyes are glowing. And it's also it demonstrates why Evangelion's a really cool mech anime is because they don't move like normal mechs. Because it just full on.
They're very sluggish,
very beastly, and then it just gets momentum piece by piece, and I'm like, yeah, this thing is gonna hit the other thing.
Yeah, they feel more like mammals than mechas.
See, they feel like living creatures, which the first hint that they are living creatures in this episode.
I mean. It's kind of they feel more like living creatures than the Titans do in Attack on Titan.
Well, yeah, because they're
even though in Attack on Titan they are actual living creatures, but there's something they feel more like general like generic mechas.
I think they actually do remind. I think the Attack on Titan monsters were inspired by the Evas, the way they move, the way they.
That makes sense, but it's just the way they execute it. They feel more like generic mechas, even though they're made of flesh.
Yeah, but then when it starts moving its mouth,
I've only seen like 5 episodes of
all of the
Attack on
blood.
Why does it
Titans.
have its teeth? Why does it have teeth?
Why does it have
First
teeth?
Because it's cool.
Why does it bleed like that?
Because
the
it's
teeth
cool.
Are the worst part of it. The teeth are the worst part.
It's so great.
It's gross.
It is gross.
I can think of there are robots that have teeth.
What robot has a teeth?
I'm sure there are some.
Not even the Michael Bay Transformers have teeth, and they have lips.
Yeah, see,
they have lips. They have
no,
flappers.
They don't have teeth.
They literally have flaps. Arm Optimus Prime, and here are my flaps.
No, Robbie the Robot. I was going to say Robbie the Robot has teeth, but you just like he has a big mouth that flashes.
Yeah, no, teeth in mechs is the worst.
It's super creepy.
It's gross.
So the Ava attacks the angel and does some like real damage to it, and it restores its arm with an AT field, which they keep saying AT field, which we know because of the opening is an absolute terror field.
I don't think anybody. I didn't notice that until like halfway through.
It's in the opening song.
Yeah, but I'm too busy singing along. It's very quick. You can miss a lot of things in the opening because it's just.
Yeah, that's why I went in with it thinking, okay, I'm going to focus on the lyrics on the first episode and just watch the video in the second.
See, that was smart.
It's hard. It's really rough to get a lot of those, like especially they're frames. Like there's no like it 30 frames per second. It is literally one frame of.
There are probably like entire analysis on the opening scene, the credits. I mean,
there are, of course,
there are probably entire documents and articles that have been written on that opening credit sequence alone.
There's a lot of weird lore in that thing as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't the angel puts up an AT field, and this is when we get the ripping of the AT field?
Yes. Well, it's not the ripping. Is that so? The angel puts up an AT field, which is like a shield, even though it's like an absolute terror field or whatever. It's why the N2 mine didn't work, and then the Ava puts up its own AT field to like bludgeon and like tear its way through the angel's field. And it's a really cool sequence. And then
I like that kind of stuff.
The Ava grabs the angel's arm and crushes it as well. And starts pounding on its gem thing.
Not with a knife, but a piece of its own angel.
Was Shadow of the Colossus at all influenced by Eva?
Probably.
Everything was influenced by Ava.
Yeah. I call it Eva because I'm an idiot.
Wait, I don't know what's correct. Don't feel bad.
I mean, because it's Evangelion. You don't say Evangelion.
It's either. It's
like GIF or GIF. Who gives a shit?
It's both. Exactly. Shut up, Josh.
Evangelion. Evo's the.
I'm an evangelist.
Anyway, so it tears, and it starts stabbing the gem with a piece of the angel, and basically the angel, instead of like fighting back or like I think it realizes it's going to lose, so it like kind of turns into a liquid, forms a ball around the Ava's head, and detonates itself.
Yeah, it just kind of gives up.
And explodes.
It blows up.
Yes. And it's a super intense scene.
And that is how the third angel was defeated.
Yes. And the Ava's face mask, because I guess the Ava, we find out it has a helmet on. The top half falls off, which is extra creepy because it still has the bottom jaw part. And
again, this is where the Shin Godzilla-ness really comes out.
This is Shinji has like disconnected finally, and he's like just staring out the window at like the Ava.
You know what really got me is the shot where he's in the hospital just staring at his arm.
Oh yeah,
that really got me. I don't know why, because I think it's like I said, I have a big fear of like phantom pains and stuff like that.
He's staring at the reflection of the Ava, and into the skull, the socket, he sees it like this goo.
Like, it's okay, David. You can say it. You can say it. We're all adults here.
Well, yeah, and like a vagina like opening appears and an eye pops out, and they just stare at each other. And it's
that's where I was like, it's a person.
It's a thing.
Yeah, it's showing you that yes, the Avas are part creature. They're not just robots.
Biomech.
Yes.
Still a mech.
And that's how the second episode ends.
So is it a girl? Is it a girl or a boy?
Mech.
Why is that your first question?
It's a mech.
Because vagina.
It's a robot.
Mechs are genderless, unless otherwise stated.
It's what Josh said.
What if it's a sexy mech?
It's not a sexy mech. It's a very gross looking mech.
It has teeth, okay? It has goddamn teeth. It's gross. I love it. It's still gross.
Yeah, I do. Body horror like that really, really tantalizes me.
So, are you on board now, Jamie? Did the eyeball help?
Yeah, the eyeball helped, I guess, but it's still anime bullshit so far.
Apparently, it goes away, then gets worse, then completely goes away.
That's not much incentive. I'll say that.
No, Josh.
That's like saying like first it hurts, then it goes away for a bit, and then it feels like you're dying, and then it's fine.
And then it's really, really good.
Yeah.
That's my understanding.
I will be here to watch the wreckage.
The wreckage?
Yeah, I'm gonna blame Josh for all this. You know.
Yeah,
I see.
He's the one hyping it up. You're the optimist, David.
I have issues. This show was the first instance of a show that I learned that sometimes you have to be critical of things you love. And things.
Yeah, I'm not all the time. It's like me and Stalker, which is one of my favorite films, but you still have to watch that with like a critical eye.
Yeah.
Because it isn't perfect, but that's kind of what makes it beautiful.
Well, we already know.
But that's not anime, and this is anime, and anime it's not a real art form.
We already know what Anno's masterpiece is, so this isn't it, obviously.
Yes, end of Evangelion.
Shut up.
That's what everybody says.
I love. This is gonna get so much better once we move into the stuff that I have no idea what the fuck.
Yeah, because I'm either gonna get really into it or really angry, and either way, it's gonna be entertaining to hear.
Josh is just gonna be like,
"Oh, I'm just gonna sit here and wait."
Spend the next 3 months waiting.
I'm gonna just stare at you guys like Gendo and just wait for things to happen.
Do you understand now? Do you get it now? No? Okay, I'll wait for next week.
I'm just gonna put my hands over my eyes. I'm just gonna tip my glasses back so you don't see my pupils, and I'm gonna sit there.
You're like the guy who like shows their friend a funny video and is waiting for them to laugh, and you get really anxious if they don't. That's who you are, Josh.
No, that's me.
No, he's the friend who sat us down in front of the YouTube video and pressed play and is waiting for us to react, at least some way, and has no idea how we're gonna react.
But you will react. God damn it! I need the views. We're sponsored by Disney this week. I need the views.
Yes, because that's what Disney would sponsor.
No, we're not going to get the ad revenue. I've swore too much.
This episode of the TV Book Club is sponsored by
Audible.
No, it's sponsored by The Boys on Amazon. Watch the first season now.
From the team that brought you Preacher and
Do you like action programs that make you feel like shit? Watch The Boys.
Do you want something you're enjoying even though it makes you incredibly uncomfortable?
Just like Evangelion.
All right, well, yes. So yes, TV Book Club is back. I'm excited, and I'm very excited to keep seeing more Evangelion.
Yeah. Stay tuned though for the final episode, which will be our critical analysis of What Our Photo, the definitive Evangelion movie.
Shut the fuck
Cut
up.
his mic. Cut his mic.
We're done. Bye.